Miguel Martinez-Valle, NBC10 News, Telemundo62. Bilingual reporting is the only real reporting I know how to do. The way that I've always processed information has been kind of English and Spanish, so being able to kind of tell the stories or tell them the news in both languages, for me, just feels like a part of, everyday life.
Isabel Sánchez, Noticiero Telemundo62, NBC10 News.
Bilingual journalism, for me, it's a superpower. It's the ability to connect with communities that are so different yet so similar.
So you have Telemundo, you have NBC. They kind of talk about what the big stories of the day are, and they start divvying them up. Now, for me, because I know I'm going to be on both, it has to be a pretty big story.
Alrighty, good morning. We have folks here from NBCU Academy. They're going to be featuring our newsroom as a duopoly bilingual newsroom. I'm Elizabeth Flores, Vice President of News for NBC10 and Telemundo62. We jump onto a 9:15 editorial call with the entire team, and we just kind of get the motions going for our reporters and for what stories they're going to be covering, and making sure that they go out and that we're covering our tri-state area in the best possible way that we can. Marvin and Bill, let's get this started.
Today we've got 70s and sunshine. Starting tomorrow, we're in the 80s.
Number one story was the son who killed his mom, and then the Walmart layoff story from last week.
Something that I have on my list that I thought was interesting, the burglary at the Independence Seaport Museum.
The Cheltenham story, we have good chopper video that shows the car with a bullet hole. I think it's on the driver's side of the window.
Valeria will be checking the public hearings and the police budget to see if we can do something in-house.
I think whoever does it at 6 is going to be probably a live VOSAT with the presentation of this person.
We go through every single story. We go through what Telemundo is going to do. We go through what NBC is going to do. What angles are we looking for? What stories are important for the day?
We are still trying to figure out what reporter will be in each show. We have a woman who was shot inside a car. We've got the police budget where they're asking for a 5% increase, which is about $55 million. Temple University might have an interim president by the time all is said and done in our evening newscast. So we still have a lot going on today.
Right now we're going to go down to Temple University campus, talk to some students, kind of talk about what got us here. And we'll be live at 11:30, and then we'll have the full story at like 4, and then 6 when we know who the acting president's going to be.
Hey Pecker, what time do you have Miguel on your show?
I just walked over and kind of checked in with Michael Pecker, who's doing the 11, just to see if he wanted me in the 11 at all. It sounds like he's going to put me in at 11:30. Julia, who does the noon, she says that she's just going to VOSAT it for the anchors. So now after we do the 11:30, my focus has kind of been talking to students and everybody and getting ready for the shows at either 4 or 5 for NBC and then 6 for Telemundo. Let's go. I was born in Mexico. I grew up in Michigan, and if we wanted to find out what was happening, we would have to watch the news in English. My parents didn't know that much English when we first moved here, and so we either had the national Spanish shows or the local English, and I would have to translate. And so now that I'm in the news, I kind of feel like I'm doing that just on a larger scale. You're translating, you're letting people know what's happening in their communities, in their language. It's important journalism, and it's making sure that people, no matter the language they speak, have the information they need.
This is in Horsham. Supposedly someone tried to kill their kid. I don't even know. There was some breaking news that we are checking out. It had to do with a mom who may have injured her kid and is on the run. In those 2 minutes, we already changed the assignment for Miguel. He's not doing Temple anymore, and now he's headed to this breaking news out in the burbs of Philadelphia. So we have Chopper on the way, and we have Miguel on the ground headed there.
The only thing we really have confirmed right now is that there was a minor that was found dead in the home. So we're trying to figure out kind of what happened.
Very clear writing. Here's what investigators tell us. There are going to be times when our reporters go onto the news and we don't know all of the answers. But what we can do is we can tell them what we do know, and we can tell them what we don't know. I am Mike Ingalls. I'm the managing editor of NBC10 News in Philadelphia. So in this case, it is just clear cut. Around 7 o'clock this morning, a father noticed the door to the main bedroom in the home was locked and his wife's Toyota Highlander was missing. He told police once he opened the door, he found his son dead and called 911. Why was the boy there and the dad not in the main bedroom? The next line, the 11-year-old had spent the night in the bedroom with his mother. She wasn't in the home. So we are simply telling what the police narrative is.
Because this is happening right now, and we don't have a lot confirmed, so it's still breaking news, you kind of start with the scene. So I have, the biggest piece of information is, police confirm that there's a suspicious death. Kind of say where it happened so people know whether it's close to them or not. You show the scene, and then you tell people, like, police are saying there's no threat to the public, but they're still investigating, what exactly happened. So just kind of want to make sure that people get, like, the headline of what police are investigating, the fact that there's no, like, threat to them, and then just show this, show the visuals of police being out here. For me, it's a lot of texts, a lot of phone calls, and a lot of email chains.
I'm focusing on the breaking news. I am always in communication with my reporters, either Isa, either Miguel.
Oye, pues aquí está la policía. So I got to check in with Julia and say, hey, we're going to get here at this time, set expectations for, I don't know what information I'll have from police, but I can give you the latest information we have. So we were able to maneuver that and then just focus on the 4 o'clock for NBC, and then now the 6 o'clock for Telemundo. We're making calls, whether it be the district attorney or the police chief who's, wherever you're reporting, making those calls and then relaying that information back, because it's not just you that has a handle on your story, but there's also, how the anchors are going to toss to you, how the producers are going to tease your story. You want to make sure that everybody's on the same page with what we are reporting, what we're not reporting, what we can say, what we can't say, especially if it's a sensitive topic.
It was a breaking news story where a woman was shot in a Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru, and there was not many options or back and forth. It was more like, this is what we're doing today. Let's go. When you have breaking news, it's what do we know? What did police say? Arrived to the scene, what are we looking at? That's just kind of how it goes. We got an address, we got a brief description of what was going on. Once we get to the scene, we kind of find the staging area, which is where all the media is allowed to be located, to grab video, to talk to people.
So we have a live hit at noon, it's 11:07, but in the meantime, as we prepare, it's always important to try to get any kind of sound, more information, new information.
And then you start seeing who is around the area and try to approach it. Maybe it's somebody in law enforcement to ask them, hey, are we going to have a presser? Are we going to talk anytime soon? Or maybe it's a witness where you just go and ask, listen, were you here? What happened?
It took me a little bit to grasp my head around it.
So that's kind of what we do, assess the situation, arrive at the scene, who is around. I'm going to ask you, who are you? How are you doing? Did you see anything? And if you don't want to talk to me, that's okay.
We were just on edge. We weren't sure what had happened.
Tienen video de Chopper y Matt mandó más video. Police spent hours investigating the suspicious death of an 11-year-old boy. I don't know what you can tell us about your end of the investigation.
She was arrested. She's in custody.
It's devastating, really.
As a bilingual journalist, it's a busy day and it takes a lot of collaboration.
It's basically our crunch time.
Who are you going to be checking in with about the charge? So Miguel's script from Horsham has come in, so what I do is I will read it, make sure he didn't leave anything out, make sure there isn't anything that isn't clear. He has sent what the anchor will say, what he will say live, what his reporter story will say, and then what he will say on the back end. She is talking to police, one of those things, and we can figure out the language.
3, 2, 1.
Next, it is track for the photographer. The photographer will edit. Miguel will talk to his writer, producer back here at the station. Then we'll see Miguel on NBC10 at 4. Then he goes through the same process for Telemundo, and we'll see him on Telemundo later in the day.
So esto fue parte de un breaking news que llevaba trabajando Isa desde esta mañana. We started the day with a plan, and that plan changed. And that's what we do. We have to be ready to pivot and change and maximize resources along the way. So I feel very comfortable with the plan as it is right now. That doesn't mean that in 5 minutes it will change again.
A woman was shot in a Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru.
Se van a llevar el carro.
It's back and forth with a lot of people. For the Telemundo side, it's a lot of Emmanuel. I talk to Emmanuel a lot. He's our executive producer.
Having a bilingual reporter like Miguel and Isabel, that they know our community and they talk their language and they understand what is happening in the community.
Hoy en día los muchachos no piensan.
One word can mean something for some people in Mexico, but if we say it to Boricuas or Dominicans, it's a completely different thing. So having that ability to check in and make sure that you're having discussions on what things actually mean for different groups of people are important, very, very important too.
being able to have that communication cohesively with other producers and just to make sure that we're all on the same page. Without it, it's as if we would be working in two separate newsrooms.
You're going to be a remote one. I'll get in your ear for a mic check.
Alrighty, yeah, Miguel is turning on the lights and we are gearing up, getting ready.
Hey Miguel, how is it out there today?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We're almost there, almost there.
Without the teamwork, it's not possible. You just can't do it alone. If there's no teamwork, it just would not work.
3, 2, 1.
Noticiero Telemundo 62 comienza ahora.
Bueno, Valeria, la policía aún no nos ha dado información sobre la mamá del niño.
Miguel, you've been on this story all day. Fill us in.
All day we've watched as police and investigators, they've been going in and out.
Isabel, ¿qué sabemos hasta el momento?
En estos momentos, detectives continúan hablando con testigos y revisando videos de cámaras. Anybody with information is asked to contact Montgomery County detectives. Isabel Sánchez, NBC10 News.
Another show on the books.
It's so rewarding to see that your work is honestly being seen and heard in 2 languages to those communities. What we do is a service that each single story deserves to be heard, that even if it's hard, it is important for the community to know what happened, and that is my part in this bigger equation of what these people are going through. Growing up in Venezuela, seeing amazing journalists literally risking their lives to tell the stories of what was going on in my country was one of the most significant parts of my childhood. I remember being like 12 years old and seeing what was going on in the streets of Caracas, people dying. And the journalists were there. They were there, committed to tell the stories that mattered the most. And I knew that's what I wanted to do.
When people watch us, especially when people watch Telemundo, we are in their home and we are part of their family.
And I love it. I love to do it every single day.
It makes me really excited to be able to have 2 cultures come together, especially such, like the Latino community that is so big, it's growing, it's going to keep growing, and to be able to cover it is really an honor.